And what about that game last night? The Raiders with a big win over the Saints. Sadly and unfortunately, no fans were allowed in the arena. That sucks, but man, what a big win. I don't think the Saints are a Super Bowl contender, but let's be honest, they're a pretty good football team, and Drew Brees is a pretty damn good quarterback. So they were able to get the job done. The Raiders were yesterday, and what a great second half. I thought that Raiders made the defensive plays when they needed to in the second half, but I think it was their offense that won the game. They picked apart the Saints, and like I said, it was a great win and a great start for the Las Vegas Raiders. And a guy we have with us on the line, I know he's going to agree with me. Sadly, it's probably the first Raiders game, home game, even though it was in Vegas, that he's missed. And I don't even know, God knows how long. His name is Wayne Mabry, but you probably know him as Mr. Violator himself. And he joins us right now on the line. Violator, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolutely, Violator.
So how weird was it for you to watch a Raiders home game on your television?
Wow. First of all, let me say this. You know, the Death Star was shining very bright yesterday. We took on a formidable opponent in the Saints, which I always have respect for as a well-coached, put together team. And like you said, we offensively picked them apart. And then when the defense finally settled down, so to speak, they just lynched in on Drew Brees and gave him some pressure that made him look average, like an average quarterback. So like I say, very proud of that opening performance. Hopefully this is a trend upward. We've seen the downs. Hopefully this is an upward trend. But I can't be more proud of the guys. Just can't wait till we can all get in there and really give them a boost of energy.
No question. I mean, but from a standpoint, how weird is it now? It's official, right? They're the Las Vegas Raiders and the season is underway. How weird is that for you, Violator? I mean, you've been such a loyal fan of the Raiders. Everybody knows who you are. Just, is that strange for you now that they've gotten off to this great start, right? They're 2-0. It's been a while since they started off the season 2-0, but yet they're not in California. They're in Vegas. How strange is that for you?
The strangest part is that they're not in California, but like to say the 2-0 start, that's what we expect from there. You know, the bar is still raised high. We don't want to lower our standards, you know, our etiquette or whatever you want to call that to meet whatever, you know, record that the team ends up with. But listen, we expect the world from them. They expect the world from us. Like I said, it was just the weirdest part was that weren't able to be in there. That was the weirdest part. Looking at an empty stadium, you know, you watch all the other teams and you see some fans, some cutouts, just to see that empty shell of a stadium. And
yeah,
that's not what my eyes are used to seeing. That was what I kept focusing on.
What do you think the party would have been like for you, the environment, if you and 50,000 other fans were able to be in the arena last night? What do you think that would have been like for you, for the Raiders, knowing that they started the season 1-0, they just defeated the Saints? How loud would that stadium have been, and what do you think the environment would have been like for you and the experience if you were allowed to be there last night?
Mardi Gras inside. That's how it would have been, especially with a roof over us. You know how loud the Coliseum got in Oakland. Now we got it all enclosed. Oh, my goodness. Watch out.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that stadium, isn't it so beautiful, Violator? I mean, I think of how loud it would have been in that arena last night. Vegas is crazy as it is. It would have been nuts in there. And then you got Drew Brees in town. And what a golden opportunity it was last night, and the Raiders were able to take advantage of it. What is the difference between this team right now, the feeling of this team, Carr, and the talent that they have, as opposed to the last few years? Because I just get the sense, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, we're only 2 games into the season, but I feel like the Raiders should be able to compete against most teams in the league, and they could win most games that they're playing this year. I think their defense is very young, right? I think there's a lot of positions that they're very young, but I think Carr has just another year under his belt. I was very impressed with his decision-making in the second half. He made some mistakes in the first half, but I thought he played a flawless second half, and he outplayed Drew Brees in the second half. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely agree with that. I wanted to speak on that behalf. You don't know the pride that these young men have about opening up that new arena. That was Al's dream come to fruition. From the history of me knowing the late Al Davis, that's his dream coming into fruition. And like I said, the weirdest part is that it's not in this state, but the Raiders are a worldwide known and loved organization. So, you can call us nomads. It don't matter where we land, we'll make it home. And like I said, that spirit of us, once we can get in there, it's going to be all right.
When was the last time you missed a home game for the Raiders? I'm just curious.
Wow. I don't really. It's been a while. And usually that's for some kind of family business that had to be taken care of or, funeral.
Right.
And, but the whole thing was I'm living a fan's dream, just 29 years now, just donning the war paint and spiked shoulder pads.
I love it.
I couldn't foresee that year one in 91. I couldn't see it, but I just knew something needed to be done to bring the crowd more in tune to the game.
And you did it. And you were one of the main responsible reasons of the black hole existing, and it will continue to exist in Las Vegas. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it will exist. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Wayne Mabry, also known as Violator, one of the most famous, not only Raider fans in Raider history, but in NFL history.
Just sports fans in general.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the most
recognizable. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So watching the game on your television last night, I kind of alluded to this in my first question with you. I'm just curious, what is going through your mind? You have so much history with this Raiders organization. Not the actual game itself, but what is going through your mind, Violator, when you put on the television and they're showing all these clips of Las Vegas and the Strip and stuff? What is going through your mind? I'm just curious.
New frontier. I mean, they kept showing the shots of the horizon. That's a far cry different than the landscaping in the Bay Area, but it's a welcome sight at the same time because we ended an era there in Oakland. Now we open an era in Las Vegas. So I see it being a match made in heaven. We've always considered, a weird fan base. Well, we'll fit right at home there.
I like that.
So I want to talk to you about the Raiders team, especially the Raiders offense. I mean, that Saints defense, they had Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins. These are two all-pro cornerbacks. And Brian Edwards played pretty well. Ruggs played okay, but they're still missing Tyrell Williams. They've got Zay Jones. He caught the touchdown pass. But I think Darren Waller is probably the best tight end the Raiders have had. And, I mean, probably since 91, if you would agree with that. But, I mean, I see this Raiders offense, especially Jacobs. He still got his 80 yards against a very good Saints defensive front. But I see this offense just getting better. Do you agree with me, Violator?
Yeah, absolutely. I was proud of how they came out with that aggressive nature about it. I knew we had a decent running game. Now, we had seen, spurts of Waller, but this guy is a story that still needs to be told in its entirety. Just to see how he can raise his stock. He's a natural leader. You can see that. And just to see him, the versatility that he has, is going to throw most defenses off. That's a tight end in a wide receiver's body or vice versa, And looking at him, it was like looking at Kelsey in a Raiders uniform.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Waller has played, what do you have, 9 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown last night? I don't see many defenses that can match up with, because Jacobs can catch the ball out of the backfield. Then you've got Renfro. He's basically the option, the slot wide receiver option. He's kind of the security blanket. But then you've got, how do you cover Waller and Jacobs and then Ruggs downfield with his 4.2 speed? I'm not sure there's going to be too many defenses because, again, if there was defense, the Saints would be that defense that can really stop this Raiders offense for the rest of the year.
What was refreshing to me was seeing Derek launch that peel downfield. That's the old Raider football that I grew up watching. Not afraid to launch the bomb. Let them fly.
Yeah, no question about that. Well, Violator, I really, I don't think I'm alone, and I know you would agree with me. We can't wait for fans, everyone to be able to watch these games in Las Vegas in person. It's going to be incredible, and I look forward to meeting you, and thank you so much for your time, as always, and go Raiders, my man. Thank you, Violator, for your time. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me on, man.
All right.